We're back on the morning show with our wise guy, Matt Sellin, talking electrical forces this morning. Kind of a continuation from last week.
Right. So it was Ben Franklin's birthday last week, and so we're going to continue celebrating by doing some crazy things.
And I see you brought in lots more toys for us today to play with.
This is a really crazy machine, and we're going to play with that in a second.
Okay.
But since we promised things we can do at home, there's a couple of things that I want to show you. You can't really do this at home because it's
you need this.
Frankenstein,
yeah.
you know. But anyways, here's something you can do. So these are two balloons. If you want to hang on to that,
okay.
We're going to charge these up. And the only way I can think of charging these up is just by rubbing it against my head. Okay, which will give me a bad hair day for sure.
Scientific way to do it.
Okay. Now keep it lifted up.
I'm not that tall.
No. Okay, here, I'll do it. You see now how they won't come together?
Sure, they're repelling from each other.
They're repelling each other, and that's, you know, that's pretty amazing. All I did was rub my head on these things, and I put a few extra electrons on each one of them, and those like sign charges are repelling now, and these things won't come within a foot of each other.
Wow.
Okay. Now it turns out that the electrical force is so strong. Whoa.
Ooh, you got shocked.
that if you actually were to just take 1 in a million of the atoms in these two balloons, and to that 1 in a million just add one extra electron, the force between these two balloons right now would be about 1,000,000 pounds.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. So there's very few charges on these, and they still repel a lot. I mean, it's noticeable.
Yeah.
We can see it. And
still, it's not really diminishing at all either.
Right. So for forces, you know, it's a big force for a small amount of charges put on each of these balloons. So electrical forces are enormous.
Okay.
Okay, so that's the point of that. Now, when we come back, I'll show you some things you're going to do at home, but I want to show this contraption first, because it also has to do with electrical forces. This is called a Wimshurst generator, and the way it works is it sort of works like rubbing your feet on the floor and getting a spark on a doorknob, kind of like the Van de Graaff we saw last week.
Right.
These two counter-rotating insulating wheels have metal discs on them and some copper brushes which move charges around in such a way that when you crank this thing by hand, the work your hand does separates the charge and you get high voltages across these two terminals. So if I just crank this thing by hand, you get big sparks.
Yeah.
Okay? And it's a scary machine because you know, you can kind of hurt yourself a little. I mean, you can't really kill yourself, but, you know, it would feel not good if you stuck your finger there. Okay.
Right.
Now, this can be used to do experiments. Okay, so this is going to demonstrate electrical forces, and I think this thing's very cool. So what you do is I'm going to take one of these terminals and make it positive, one of them and make it negative, and I'm going to put that high positive and negative voltage, which is tens of thousands of volts, okay, on the top and bottom of this little container.
Okay.
And so there's an aluminum plate on the top and an aluminum plate on the bottom.
And what are the balls inside?
And the balls are ping pong balls that have been painted with just spray paint that's conducting, like metallic paint.
Oh, sure.
Okay. Now, you make one of these positive, one of these negative. If the ball is positive, it's going to be repelled upward, and it's going to hit the negative one, and then it's going to pick up some electrons there, and it's going to be repelled down. So it's going to start moving back and forth and back and forth.
Let's see.
Okay. We'll have to get this going by flipping it.
And now why are the other ones just sitting there?
Because I haven't given them I haven't tickled them yet.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So isn't that crazy? So this thing starts oscillating up and down like
very
crazy.
Cool.
Now, do you smell something right now?
Yeah, a little burning smell.
It's kind of a smell of ozone. So we created all kinds of sparks, and there were sparks flying down here because of these tens of thousands of volts. We use that voltage to make this thing bounce up and down rapidly.
Okay.
Okay, and I'll show you when we come back how you can make your own high voltage and how you can make sparks with a pipe plate.
Tinfoil and straws. Great. Matt Sellin, our wise guy. If you have any questions this morning about electrical force, you can email us at themorningshow@wcia.com or visit Matt's website, wiseguy.net.